ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुर्वे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वः पदान्तिकं। वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवाय गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So have you posted the Prabhu? Okay, I see that now. Let me share my screen and then we start. Wait, this Prabhu you're recording, right? In that case, I won't.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Can everyone see my screen? Just a yes or no? I cannot see you now because I'm sharing my screen. Yes?
Yes, we can.
You see a black box.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just give me a second. So by that time, Seema Mataji, can you just recite the shlok for everyone, please? Seema Mataji on the call. I'm not sure. Okay, fine. I'll do that. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Asoshchanan Vashoshchastvam Pragyavadamsh Bhashase Gatasuna Gatasumscha Nanushochati Panditaha. So let's revise what happened in the last session. Arjun, after giving all the logic, finally says to Krishna, Krishna, I cannot fight this war. Everything was ready. It's like you are prepared for an exam. You prepared whole year for that examination, and right before entering the room, you say, I am not going to sit for this examination. So this was the condition Arjun was in. And then Sri Krishna, for the first time, starts speaking in Bhagavad-gītā. So he starts with chastising Arjun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So this is the first advice that Sri Krishna gives to Arjun. Let's see, and we'll begin today's class now. 2.12. Anyone from the previous batch would like to recite this? No one? Okay. Na tvevaham jatu nasam, na tvam neme janadhipaha, na chaiva na bhavishyama, sarve vayamata param. Now from this verse, Lord Krishna starts instructing Bhagavad-gītā to Arjun. Translation. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So before diving into the purport, let's understand. So the reasons Arjun said, I wouldn't be fighting this war, the main reason was due to the bodily attachment. The attachment towards his family, attachment towards his guru, Bhishma Pitama, Drona Acharya, and all the young generation. So that was the reason he didn't want to fight this war. So that is why Krishna starts now counteracting all the argument Arjun put forward. The first thing he said that I am not going to fight this war because I have compassion for my people. To understand this, let's take a practical approach. Now let's say that in a hospital, around 100 babies are born on a particular day. Now, we all know logically that all 100 of them wouldn't be very good at mathematics. All 100 of them wouldn't be very good at singing. Someone would be good at singing. Someone would be very good in solving mathematical calculations when he or she grows up. Someone will be a very good cook, while the other, he wouldn't be able to cook at all, he or she, right? So what determines if we say that there is only one life, YOLO, you only live once? If this is the concept, if this is the logic, then what determines why a particular person is good at something and bad at something? There should be some logic behind it, isn't it? So now let's try to unmask that logic using Bhagavad-gītā. So as per our scriptures, as per Bhagavad-gītā, the body that we have, it consists of 3 different parts. There is a gross body, then there is a subtle body, and then ultimately there is a spiritual body. What are the 5 things in gross body? So it's earth, air, water, fire, and ether. These are the 5 gross material things that we are made of. Earth. So if we see our skin, it is made of soil, that is earth. Water. There is blood content inside our body that constitutes of water. Air. We take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. So that's air. There is air inside our body. Earth, air, water, fire, and ether. We have fire inside our body. Because of the fire, we are able to digest our food. When we get sick, so we say, oh, I have 102 degrees Celsius temperature. So what is that temperature? That is fire. Our body becomes heated up. And the 5th one is ether. Ether means sky or space. So because of the space within our body, I am able to speak today. There is a contraction in the muscles, and because of that, the voice comes out. There is space between different lungs and kidneys and everything to function properly. So we are made, the gross body is made of these 5 elements. Okay, now second, the logic why someone is good at something and someone not good at something, or someone good at one thing and bad at one thing. What determines that? So there is another body that is called as subtle body. Subtle body in Hindi, it is called Sukshma Sharir. Subtle is something that cannot be seen. So it constitutes of mind, intelligence, and false ego. True or false ego, but majorly false ego. Mind, whatever activity we do throughout our lifetime, that is registered in our mind, and that becomes a habit. Above mind is intelligence. All of us have choice. At every particular moment, you had a choice whether to join this class or not. What determines that? That is intelligence. So the intelligence guides the mind. Should I go for Bhagavad-gītā class or should I go for Netflix movie? Should I go to temple or should I go to some other place? So that is the function of intelligence. And above that is ego. Ego makes us identify with our body. I am male, I am female, I am Indian, I am American, I am white, I am black. So that is ego. These 3 things. Now, throughout our life's journey, the habit that we form, it continues life after life. And that is the reason that a baby is able to very quickly grasp any subject, maybe mathematics, English, or any subject that comes across the baby. Very good at playing piano. Why? Because life after life, he or she has been trained that way. And that has formed a habit and that carries on. So the subtle mind, it carries from one life to another. So now that brings to a question, what is this life? People say that seeing a dead body, that he has passed away, right? He or she passed away. But the body is right in front of you. So what exactly passed away? So this subtle mind is the thing that passes away when we die. So at the time of death, the five gross elements, they go back to the five gross elements. The earth, when the body is burned, the earth goes to earth, air to air, water to water, fire to fire, and ether to ether. But the subtle mind, it carries from this lifetime to the next journey. And then there is a third body, that is spiritual body, and that is our real identity. What is that? That is soul. And with soul is super soul. So at the time of death, we are too attached with our body. So that is the reason we don't want to die. No one wants to die, isn't it? But the super soul, being all cognizant, it knows that the time has come. He leaves the body. The soul in its true identity. Now we are conditioned. We are going to cover all these concepts. Now we are conditioned. But when the soul gets to know that the time has come, the super soul is leaving the body, the soul cannot remain without the super soul. So the soul runs behind the super soul and the soul, as they leave the body, the consciousness goes away. This also we are going to cover in a few shlokas. The consciousness of the body goes away and the body lies flat to the ground. This is what happens at the time of death. And with the spiritual body, so this soul and super soul is the spiritual body. With the spiritual body, our subtle body travels life after life. And the subtle body, it carries our habits, that is called sanskar in Hindi, in Sanskrit, samskaras. So it carries the samskaras and our karma. So whatever karma we have done lifetime after lifetime, that is carried via the medium of this subtle body. So this is what happens when someone dies. So they just keep on changing the destination. Now Krishna very beautifully is going to explain what exactly happens. Okay? Let's quickly understand the purport. In the Vedas, in the Katha Upanishad, as well as in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, so there are 4 Vedas. Then to better understand the Vedas, they are further divided into Upanishads. So Upanishads, they are like short story format so that we can easily understand Vedas. So one of them is Katha Upanishad here and Shvetashvatara. There are many Upanishads, but 108 is the main Upanishads. So these are 2 main. It is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the maintainer of innumerable living entities in terms of their different situations according to individual work and reaction of work. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is also by his plenary portions alive in the heart of every living entity. So this super soul, he resides in the heart, and the soul also resides in the heart. Only saintly persons who can see within and without the same Supreme Lord can actually attain to perfect and eternal peace. Then there is a verse from Katha Upanishad 2:2-1-3. It says, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman Tam Atmastham Ye Anupashyante Dhiras Tesham Shanti Shashwati Neta Risham. The same Vedic truth given to Arjun is given to all persons in the world who pose themselves as very learned but factually have but a poor fund of knowledge. The Lord says clearly that he himself, Arjun, and all the kings who are assembled on the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and that the Lord is eternally the maintainer of the individual living entities, both in their condition and in their liberated situation. Now, let me reread this line. The Lord says clearly that he himself, Arjun, and all the kings who are assembled on the battlefield are eternally individual beings. That means each one of us are individual. When we quit our body, it's not that we go and merge with God. No, that is incorrect understanding. We remain individual till the time we go back, till the time we attain moksha liberation. We are individual, and also after attaining liberation, we are an individual entity. Assemble on the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and that the Lord is eternally the maintainer of the individual living entities, both in their conditioned and in their liberated situations. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Individual Person, and Arjun, the lost eternal associate. And all the kings assembled there are individual eternal persons. It is not that they did not exist as individuals in the past, and it is not that they will not remain eternal persons. Their individuality existed in the past, and their individuality will continue in the future without interruption. Therefore, there is no cause for lamentation for anyone. Now, one very important thing to be understood here is that Krishna says that he is the maintainer of the individual living entities, both in their condition and in their liberated situations. What does this mean? This is a very deep secret. If we understand this, then 99% of our life problems would be solved. It means that we place our trust in others. We seek happiness in places, in people, in material things like money, car, job, whatever it could be. So we are seeking for happiness in those places. Places are, but here Krishna says that the Lord is eternally the maintainer of the individual living entities, both in their condition and in their liberated situations. So we are not maintained. That means we will not get happiness in either of these things. We can try, we can keep on trying, but it's only Krishna ultimately who maintains us. So when we go to the maintainer, then only we are going to find peace. You can water a great banyan tree, and you start watering the fruits, the leaves, the twigs, the branches, and everything. But it will be satisfied if you water the roots, isn't it? So our maintainer, our root is Shri Krishna. So unless the root is satisfied, the whole tree is not going to be satisfied, no matter how hard you work to satisfy the tree. So we have to remember this, that we'll only get peace and solace if we try to find that in Shri Krishna rather than in material things or any other thing other than Krishna. Second line, second para. The Mayavadi theory that after liberation, the individual soul, separated by the covering of Maya or illusion, will merge into the impersonal Brahman and lose its individual existence is not supported herein by Lord Krishna, the Supreme Authority. Very heavy line. So I will explain each word here. The first word is the Mayavadi theory. Now, what is this Mayavadi? Throughout Bhagavad-gītā, you will find this word, Mayavadi. Or for that matter, throughout the literatures of Srila Prabhupada, you are going to find this word. The meaning of the word Mayavadi is one whose theory is that all of us are God. That is one thing. All of us are same, one and equal, all of us. And then their belief is that God has no form ultimately. So these are the beliefs of Mayavadi school of thoughts. So according to them, each and every entity is one. There is no difference. Everyone is one. So meaning, I and all of you as an audience, we are one. So if we are one, so what is the need of me speaking and you hearing? We are one, right? And moreover, they say everyone is God. So it means I, being a God, am teaching Bhagavad-gītā that was taught by God to all of you who are gods. So this is what the Mayavadi concept is, that is flawed. There is some, mistake in this school of thought. So the Mayavadi theory that after liberation, the individual soul separated by the covering of Maya or illusion will merge into the impersonal Brahman and lose its individual existence is not supported herein by Lord Krishna. Impersonal Brahman, what does that mean? So we can understand God in three different forms. The first form is the light that emanates from Lord, and that light is called impersonal Brahman. Then the second is Paramatma feature. Lord is there as Paramatma in each one of us. And the ultimate is Bhagwan, who has a beautiful form. Just now we did Gaur Arati and you saw the forms of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. So this is the form of Lord Krishna. We will understand that as well in the coming shlokas. In the verses, I will give you a brief explanation. So they think that each one of us, we merge in Lord Shri Krishna when we die. So not is the theory that we only think of individuality in the conditioned state supported herein. Krishna clearly says herein that in the future also the individuality of the Lord and others, as it is confirmed in the Upanishads, will continue eternally. This statement of Krishna's is authoritative because Krishna cannot be subject to illusion. If individuality were not a fact, then Krishna would not have stressed it so much, even for the future. Devi Yashi Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya. Krishna says, Bhagavad-gītā 7.14, 7 chapter, 14th verse. Mama Maya, this Maya, illusion energy, she belongs to me. She works for me. So it's not possible that Krishna can be subjugated to Maya. Krishna can be under the clutches of Maya. So this is what some Mayavadi philosophers think. So that there is flaw in that philosophy. The Mayavadi may argue that the individuality spoken of by Krishna is not spiritual but material. Even accepting the argument that the individuality is material, then how can one distinguish Krishna's individuality? So why is Prabhupada writing all these things? Prabhupada is writing all these things so that we understand Bhagavad-gītā practically, logically, and not just sentimentally. So in India, mostly people are emotional, sentimental. Why should we study Bhagavad-gītā? Because our ancestors have asked us to study. Why should we worship God? Because we have been told to do so. But what is the logic behind that? Why? So this is why he is giving all the logic here. That what are the different school of thoughts in the spiritual area. So we have to understand those and we have to see what is right and what is wrong. For instance, if I have to understand some section in the law book, I will go to a lawyer rather than a shopkeeper or my neighbor. So similarly, when you have to know about spiritual things, you have to come to a sage, to a transcendentalist. So here Prabhupada, being a transcendentalist, he is giving us the knowledge, the logic. So Krishna affirms his individuality in the past and confirms his individuality in the future. Also, he has confirmed his individuality in many ways, and impersonal Brahman has been declared to be subordinate to him. Krishna has maintained spiritual individuality all along. If he is accepted as an ordinary conditioned soul in individual consciousness, then his Bhagavad-gītā has no value as authoritative scripture. A common man with all the four defects of human frailty is unable to teach that which is worth hearing. The Gita is above such literature. So can anyone among the audience tell me what are the four defects we have? So for the new people, just bear, I know this is very heavy, this knowledge, because Krishna has just started speaking Bhagavad-gītā. So for the next 17 chapters, Arjun would have thousands of doubts. To be specific, 17 doubts, but those are very important 17 doubts. And Krishna answers all those 17 doubts. So till the very end, he is going to make us understand all these concepts. So just bear, this can be heavy, a few shlokas, but then it will get easier. So anyways, let's, because it will consume time. So I will tell you the four defects that we have. The first defect is our senses are imperfect. Meaning, if there's light, we can see ourselves. But if it's dark, we cannot even see our own hand. So we have imperfect senses. We cannot see what's beyond this wall. So we have imperfect senses. That is the first thing. Second is illusion. We are illusioned. We see mirage, right? That there appears to be water, but that actually is sand. So these are some kind of illusions that we are in. The third is tendency to commit mistakes. We often unwantingly also we commit mistakes. And the fourth is cheating propensity. We cheat each other. So these are the four defects human has. And God is above this. That is why we have to take the authority of God rather than a common person. The Gita is above such literature. No mundane book compares with the Bhagavad-gītā. When one accepts Krishna as an ordinary man, the Gita loses all importance. The Mayavadi argues that plurality mentioned in this verse is conventional and that it refers to the body. But previous to this verse, such a bodily conception is already condemned. After condemning the bodily conception of the living entities, how was it possible for Krishna to place a conventional proposition on the body again? Therefore, the individuality is maintained on spiritual grounds, and it is thus confirmed by great acharyas like Sri Ramanuj and others. It is clearly mentioned in many places in the Gita that this spiritual individuality is understood by those who are devotees of the Lord. Those who are envious of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead have no bona fide access to the great literature. The non-devotee's approach to the teachings of the Gita is something like that of a bee licking on a bottle of honey. One cannot have a taste of honey unless one opens the bottle. So how to understand this? First thing, we have to take the authority of Lord Shri Krishna, that he is not an ordinary person. If Lord Krishna were an ordinary person, then there is no point of studying Bhagavad-gītā spoken by him. The first thing. Second is, Bhagavad-gītā is available to everyone, isn't it? Everyone, you can go in a shop, you can buy Bhagavad-gītā. But that does not mean that we will understand Bhagavad-gītā. Like I keep saying, giving the example, Bhagavad-gītā is, let's say it's a laptop. You can go to a shop, you can buy a laptop, but to access the laptop of a high-profile company, let's say it's FBI or CBI in India, they give you a laptop, so it's password protected, isn't it? No one can access unless you have the authority. So only a person who has accepted Krishna as supreme and not an ordinary, by the mercy of a guru, will get the password to unlock that laptop. So this is what is being spoken here, that it is available to everyone, but yet everyone cannot access, everyone cannot understand Bhagavad-gītā unless they surrender to Krishna, unless they surrender to a guru. Similarly, the mysticism of the Bhagavad-gītā can be understood only by devotees, and no one else can taste it, as it is stated in the 4th chapter of the book. Nor can the Gita be touched by persons who envy the very existence of the Lord. Krishna says to Arjun that I am explaining you this concept of Bhagavad-gītā because you don't envy me and you are my best friend. That's why you are able to understand Bhagavad-gītā. So if we have to understand Bhagavad-gītā, we should be non-envious of Krishna. Now this will appear as very weird. Why would I be envious of Krishna? We will get to know. Just be with us and you will get to know how each and every one of us are envious of Krishna. Therefore, the Mayavadi explanation of the Gita is the most misleading presentation of the whole truth. Lord Chaitanya has forbidden us to read commentations made by the Mayavadis and warns that one who takes to such an understanding of the Mayavadi philosophy loses all power to understand the real mystery of the Gita. Mayavad bhashi sunile haile sarvanash. In Bengali, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this, that if you listen to Mayavadi commentary, when they say that despite Lord Krishna being so beautiful, revered by all the saints, the Mayavadi says he does not have a form. So is he a ghost? So that is an insult. That is a humiliation to God. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that we have to stay away from such people who make comments like God has no form. If we have to understand Bhagavad-gītā and the deeper secrets of Shastra, if individuality refers to the empirical universe, then there is no need of teaching by the Lord. The plurality of the individual soul and the Lord is an eternal fact, and it is confirmed by the Vedas as mentioned above. So in short, Krishna is saying to Arjun here in this words that I am individual. Arjun said you are an individual. It's just that you are under the spell of Maya at this moment. So you cannot understand this fact, but I can. For instance, Krishna says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mamatu vedana kaschana. Says Arjun, I know the past, present, future of each and every living entity. So he knows that after we quit our body, what's going to happen with us in our next body. We don't know, but Krishna knows each and everything. He knows our past lives, he knows our future. That's why he is the most fit person to give this knowledge. 2.13 Dehinasmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhirastatra namoyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. For instance, now all of you are in your comfortable clothes in pajamas. Tomorrow morning when you have to go to office, wouldn't you wear formal clothes or jeans t-shirt or whatever you have to wear? So when you are changing your clothes, would you cry that, oh, my previous clothes, it died. I feel sorry for my previous clothes. No, because it's just natural that you give up your previous clothes and then you wear new clothes. And then in the evening when you come from the office, then you will again change your clothes, right? Similarly, this body, it keeps on changing. From the soul changes from one body to another. And what to speak after that? Even in this lifetime, you see there are so many changes. When we were born, we were so small, isn't it? Then we grew. After some time, we remained in our 25, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then we started getting old, wrinkles and everything. So even in this lifetime, we see so many changes within our body. Similarly, there is a change. Death is only change of body. That's it. For instance, let's say that from point A to point B, we are in a train. We are going in a bullet train. And there are, let's say, maybe 1,000 stations. It's a big journey. So death is just an interval, a station where you get out and then you go to a different place. And then you board another train and then you continue your journey. So this is exactly what happens with us. No one actually dies. We just keep on changing our bodies. And why we change bodies? So the factor that influences the change of our body is karma, which we will study in some time. Okay? So again, this is a big purport. I would request all of you to study this purport, and if there is any doubt, you can ask me. 2.14 Matra sparshasthu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadah agam apayino anityas tamtitikshasva bharata. Translation: O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O sign of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. What is Krishna meaning by this? He says, let's see. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Kaunteya means son of Kunti. Arjuna is son of Kunti. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. So in the previous verse, Lord Krishna said, Arjun, you are not this body, you are the soul. In the very next verse, Krishna is calling him by his bodily relation. Isn't it? Kunti, Kaunteya. That means he is associating Arjun with his mother, Kunti. So that is bodily relationship. So why is Krishna doing this? So this whole Bhagavad-gītā is very practical. It's not sentimental. Again, I'll keep on focusing on this point. So Krishna means that just because you right now heard that you are not this body, you are soul, does not mean that within one moment you are going to realize this. This is a slow and eventual process. Take your time, understand this. Practically understand that you are soul and not the body, but not right at this moment. Take your time. So that is why in the next slok, he is referencing him by his bodily relationship. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadah. So like there is summer after winter, there is happiness after distress. Similarly, agam apayino anityas. He says that the weathers keep changing. Everything in this world change. Change is the only thing that's constant. And a sober person, tam tisikshasva bharata. So he says that every person must learn to tolerate. So it is already fixed that we will become famous or we wouldn't get fame. It is fixed we will become happy or we will become sad. Everything is fixed. We cannot do anything about this. That is called prarabdha. So we will address the questions. If you have that, then does it mean that we should not work? We should not endeavor? No. So I will tell you why we should do that. But this is all part of prarabdha. Okay? So Krishna says that a person should not worry about these things. He must learn to tolerate. Okay? Now we'll take one shlok and then I know it's getting heavy, so we will stop for the day after this. Yam hina vyarthayantyete purusham purusharshabha sama dukkha sukham dhiram somritat vaya kalpate. O best among men, Arjun, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Asterisk mark this translation. Again, I'll read. O best among men, Arjun, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. For instance, how to understand this? When we dream, okay? So in our dreams, sometimes we might hit jackpot. We won some prize money. Or we might meet our idol. If we love any celebrity, we might meet them in our dream, so we become happy. And on the contrary, there could be something bad that's happening with us. Maybe we see that we are jumping off the cliff, we are sitting in an examination hall and we have not prepared and we are worried. So a person who wakes up, after waking up from this nightmare, from this dream, even if after that you understand that this was just a dream, I was neither happy in reality nor sad in reality. That was just a dream. So if a person has such understanding, that person is the most suitable person for liberation. What does that mean? It means that whatever is happening with us at the moment is actually, there is a different perspective to that. That is all an illusion. Though it is happening, but it appears like a dream. So it's very hard to digest, very difficult to understand, but one who has understood this. So I will give you an example. If today someone comes and they misbehave with you, someone comes and you get to know that someone has spoken bad about you behind your back, or anything, any reason for that, someone stole money from you, there was an accident you met with. So there are all these things. So our general tendency is that we will say, oh, it's because of this person. This person is bad. I did not deserve this, but that person actually said bad about me. Or why did I meet with accident? Why did this happen to me? Why that happened to me? So this is the general reaction we have and we've been having throughout our life. But the real understanding of all these things are that nothing happens without a reason. If someone has hurt you, if someone has said something bad about you, if you met with an accident, or on the contrary, if something good happened to you, you just won a lottery, you won a world trip. So all this is happening because these are all part of your prarabdha. Prarabdha means destiny. And how is this destiny made? The karma that we have done in our previous lifetime. That determines the things that we are going to get in this particular lifetime. Okay. Now we have only one choice, how to react. That's all. We cannot do anything about it. If it is in our prarabdha, it is going to come. You can't do anything about it. You have to face it. That is why Krishna says, Tam titikshasva bharata. Arjun, learn to tolerate. You can't do. The only thing is how you react. Once, Yamraj, he was going to meet Lord Vishnu. There was a meeting in front of Lord Vishnu in his home, Vaikunt. So he goes there, and then there is this bird. And Yamraj, he stares at that bird very weirdly and strangely. He stares at that bird. And then he goes inside for the meeting. Now this bird is scared because Yamraj has looked upon that bird. So he's scared. The bird is shivering now in fear. So at that time, Garud, who is the vehicle or who is the Vahan of Lord Vishnu, he comes and he sees that this small bird is in tension. So he asks, what's wrong? And the bird says that, you know what, just now Yamraj passed and he looked at me very weirdly. So I am suspecting something bad's going to happen to me. So then Garud said, don't worry. You are a bird, I am a bird. I will help you. So the Garud, he takes that bird and he crosses oceans. And at a very far distance, there is a cave and he puts the bird and he says, now you are safe, and he goes back. He goes back and guards the gate of Lord Vishnu. As Yamraj comes out, now Yamraj stares at Garud and even Garud is scared. So Garud says, why are you staring at me, Yamraj? So Yamraj starts laughing hysterically. And now Garud is even more scared. What happened? Why are you laughing at me? So he said, you know what? When I was entering this place, there was a bird. And I was looking at it because it was very weird, very strange to me. According to my book, this bird had to die very far from here. The ocean, there was a cave, and it was supposed to die inside that cave. And I was thinking to myself while entering that how is it that this bird will reach there within seconds? It's impossible. But now, here you are. And because you fly at the speed of light, so you took that bird inside that cave. Do you know what was inside the cave? There was a cat. And that cat was waiting for this bird to eat. So you made this possible. And then Garud was shocked. So this is prarabdha. You cannot do anything about it. All we can do is we can react. If something good happens, we have the power to react. If something bad happens, we have the power to not react. Okay? So that is why Krishna says the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Right? So this is the meaning. Let's just read the purport and then we'll be open for question and answer.
Prabhuji, so this means that if good will happen to you, you don't react. You will be rational. If bad happen, then you don't react. That means you will be stable in both the situation, then you will get the liberation. Am I right?
I will, let me finish this purport, then definitely I will answer the question.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate the onslaughts of distress and happiness is certainly a person eligible for liberation. In the Varnashram institution, the fourth stage of life, namely the renounced order sannyas, is a painstaking situation. But one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. So there are 4 Varn and 4 Ashram. The 4 Varn and 4 Ashram, the topmost of them is sannyas. So we will touch that in the 4th chapter, 4.13. Lord Krishna explains this in detail. But this sannyas is not very easy. You have to renounce this world. You are only supposed to sleep for 1 hour, 23 hours. You have to work for the welfare of people. So it's a very difficult thing to take sannyas. But yet, those who are spiritually advanced for the sake of mankind, they are not doing it for themselves. They are freed souls. They are liberated souls. But for people like us, they take sannyas. They take that pain so that through them, we will also get liberation. So they do it for others. So, but one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. The difficulties usually arise from having to sever family relationships, to give up the connection of wife and children. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. Similarly, in Arjuna's discharge of duties as a Kshatriya, he is advised to persevere even if it is difficult to fight with his family members or similarly beloved persons. Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24, and his dependents, young wife as well as old mother, had no one else to look after them. Yet for a higher cause, he took sannyas and was steady in the discharge of higher duties. That is the way of achieving liberation from material bondage. Okay. So with that, because it's going heavy. That's why I'm going to stop here and then we'll take question and answer now. Yes, so Mataji, can you ask your question again? Someone asked a question, right?
No, Prabhuji, I was telling that it means same, like if you have like bad time, then you don't react. If you have good time, then don't react. That means I should be a rational. I should be stable in all the situation. That means then you will get the liberation. Is it what the mean is?
So I'll tell you. I'll give you a better example to understand. Let's say I meet you in the temple, okay? And then I give you 10,000 euros.
Mm-hmm.
And just 10 seconds later, I say, oh, sorry, I did it by mistake. Give me back my money. Right? So now there will be people who will say, oh, I got 10,000 euros. They will jump. They will be happy. I got 10,000 euros. And when the 10,000 euros were snatched from them, then it will appear that I will commit suicide. I lost everything. I lost 10,000 euros today. But it never belonged to you in the first place, isn't it? That was never yours. I just gave it to you. I took it back. So this is our situation actually. Nothing belongs to us. We don't belong to this place. We are just, in Hindi, Musafir. Musafir means we are just a traveler. Somehow or other, we are in this situation. This is not our house. This is not my body. We have absolutely nothing to do here. But still, I associate, like I got those 10,000 euros, so I have gotten this body. So I start believing that this is me. I look like this. I am 5 foot 10 inches. I am this, I am that. And then when I'm about to die, so I don't want to leave this body. I don't want to quit this body. Why? Because I associate with the body. I thought that those 10,000 euros belonged to me, but they were never mine. So this body was never mine actually. I was just given as part of my prarabdha, my destiny. Is that clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Akash Prabhu here has a question. Yes, Prabhu, ask your question.
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, you tell like everything is like Krishna knows our past and future also. So, is it like is it scripted? Everything that is happening to us, like how we have a free will then? Like if everything is like scripted, is it like Krishna is Rishikesh? He knows our senses and he get to knows what we're going to do next. That's how he knows. He knows our future. But yeah, it doesn't apply to the past. But like, can you explain that how we have free will then?
Okay, yeah. So that is very fascinating question. That if everything is predestined, so how are things moving? So let's understand this. There are 3 types of karma. One is called sanchit, second is prarabdha, and third is kriyaman. Sanchit is the sum total. Let's say in our bank, there is a bank balance account. Let's say you have 100,000 euros in your bank. So that is your sanchit karma. Now you get EMI every month from that something. Let's say 500 euros every month you get. So that is prarabdha. That is sure that you are going to get those 500 euros because you have deposited something in your bank. So you are sure to get those for an X amount of years, maybe next 30 years, next 40 years. So that is prarabdha. And you are not sitting idly. You are doing something. No one of us can sit idly. We are breathing, isn't it? So as we are breathing, we are inhaling so many insects, bacteria. When we are walking, we are killing so many insects. So we are doing something or other. We are sleeping, we are eating, we are breathing, we are doing action. So those action now, they are also creating some karma. So for instance, in our bank balance, so one is bank balance, second is EMI, and third is we are doing some job. So now that job is also generating some cash, isn't it? So that our bank balance is increasing now. So 100,000 euros, now it increase every month. Let's say if you are earning 3,000 euros. So every month now you are depositing those 3,000 euros to your bank. Similarly, our karma works. There is a sanchit karma, meaning the sum total of all the karmas that we have done throughout our lifetimes. That is sanchit. Second is, because the volume of the sanchit is so huge that you cannot get or you cannot withdraw 100,000 euros at a time. So that is why you get some portion, 500 euros as an EMI every month. So that is prarabdha. So every life from your bank balance, your karma balance, sanchit karma, some portion of the karma will be given to you as your destiny. You could be born in a royal family, that is your destiny. Whatever the name is, I don't know. So let's say XYZ, there is a king.
Prabhuji, can you please repeat? Sorry, the one from karma.
Yeah, okay. So the first is sanchit karma. Sanchit. Sanchit meaning the sum total of karma. Every karma that we have done, that is recorded, let's say, in a place. And that is called sanchit karma. Okay. Now, based on that sanchit karma, there is one portion allocated to us for every life. That is determined. Lord Krishna knows how that works. Lord Krishna says to Arjun, Arjun wanted to understand. Krishna says, you cannot understand how karma works. So Lord Brahma knows, Mahamaya, Durga Devi knows, Lord Krishna knows how it works. So, one who is born in a royal family, what has that child done to be born in a royal family? Who determines that? One is being born as a beggar. He is thrown on the streets. The mother abandons the child, throws her into dump. And on the same day, there is a child born in a royal family. So what determines why someone becomes a beggar and why someone becomes a royal king or a royal prince? So this is part of our destiny, our prarabdha. Okay? And then third is, after becoming royal king or after becoming a beggar, maybe this beggar got an opportunity, he worked really hard, and then he built an empire. And he became super rich like a king. And this king over on the other side, he was a drunkard, he was a womanizer, he did not do anything good for his citizens, so the citizens then killed him for whatever reason. So the question Akash Prabhu asked now is that if everything is predestined, so how do we explain this, right? How do we understand this? So we always have a free will. Even though you are born in a royal family, even though you are born in a rich family, you are a star kid, or even though if you are born poor, it doesn't matter. You have to face that. That is part of your prarabdha. But now there is the third karma that is called kriyaman. Kriyaman is what you do at this present moment. That determines your future. So your past was determined, you were born. You can never go and fight. Who are you going to fight with? That why I was given this set of mother and father. I don't like this mother and father. Can you do anything about it? You can't do anything about it. Law is law. That is law of karma. Because of your past times, you had the balance to be born in this family only. You don't have enough credits to be born in a royal family. You can't do anything. So that is why Tam Titikshasva Bharata tolerated whatever you have gotten. But now you have a chance to build your life, right? So that is free will now. Now you are free to either, you can curse your entire life, I am poor, I am beggar, I am poor, I am beggar, there is no God. Or you can work, you can study, you can become a successful person. So now this is Kriyaman Karma, and that is why we have to do the karma. So the fun part here is the free will. Every one of us, at every moment of our life, has a free will. Choose option A or choose option B. Keep on cribbing, keep on whining, crying, that I didn't get this, I didn't get that. Or use your free will and you work towards your goal. Is that clear?
No, but one more thing is like, it depends on like you said about the karma. So what you are currently doing, that also depends. So let's say according to our previous karma, it was like we are going to die after some time. but like we did some good karma and we don't die due to that, something like that. Our lifespan extends. So yeah. So in that case, like how Krishna knows the future then, like how he knows like we're going to do a good karma now, and like he knows our future then. Like according to karma balance, he knows from past that this person will be having this prarabdha and it will definitely will going to happen. But the current karma what we will be doing, it's free will. So how he predicts our future then? We are predicting our future, right? So how it is like he knows our future also.
Okay, Prabhuji. So that is the thing. You are defining God based on your ability. Okay. So we are analyzing God based on human capabilities. God is beyond that. God knows. If you have 3 choices, God knows which door you are going to choose. Maybe you don't know, but God knows. So He knows everything. When it is said that, let's say I have a free will, let's say I have a choice, I have a gun in my hand, and I'm struggling whether I should kill myself, whether I should commit suicide. I don't know. Maybe I am unclear, I'm not sure. Maybe I am thinking, I am praying that please someone come and save me. I am not mentally or physically fit to shoot myself. But Krishna knows. He knows everything. Even though we have a free will, that is why it is achintya to understand Krishna. We cannot understand Krishna. He knows each and everything. He knows what's going to happen. What to speak about Krishna, Lord Brahma knows. He knows everything. But there's only one way. So I'll tell you, this karma, positive or negative, they can never be counteracted. For instance, if you have done some bad, so you cannot say that I have killed people, now I am going to donate some money to their family so that my karma would be balanced. No, that is not how it works. So this is our understanding, our human thinking that, oh, we'll balance out, or this is how it's going to happen. But no, that is not how the law of karma works. So, like Krishna said, that Arjun, don't even try to understand. It's very difficult. Karma ki gati ko samajhna aasan nahi hai, he says. So only he knows. So when we are in that state, maybe, or when you know someone is very good at Samudrik Shastra or in Jyotish Shastra, so they can tell you. Even when they look at you, they will tell you. For instance, I was sitting with Ankot Prabhu, who is here on the call. He's a very renowned doctor. He is retired now. So he just saw me. He saw my fingers and he told me that, Prabhu, this is your symptoms. Just looking at the finger, he knew about me that, oh, I am struggling with this health issue or this or that. So, and a psychologist, when he sees someone, he can know that, okay, this is what is going through their mind. Or if there is a Samudrik Shastra person, he will see your face and he will give you past, future and present, that you are going to become successful at this age. You have had a trauma at this age, this and that. So this is all science, but God is even beyond that. So if a normal and ordinary person can do this, so just think what God can do. So He knows everything. He knows even that at this moment, this person is going to change his mind and do this. So He sees our future and then He accordingly guides us in our present. But yet, we all have the free will. Even despite knowing, He does not interfere. Does that answer the question?
Probably like not fully, but to some extent fulfilled. Basically, if he knows about like what said in the starting, like he's a Rishikesh and he knows our senses, what we're going to do. So then isn't it scripted only? Like he knows he's going to do that. So and like that flow doesn't change, right?
No, we have a choice. Okay, we have a choice. For instance, we have been given this body, okay? And it was destined that this XYZ person, he will have 3 children, he will be married, and he will become a general manager of a company or a vice president of a company This is destined. It is prarabdha. There is only one thing that comes between the prarabdha, in the way of prarabdha, and that is bhakti, devotional service. So, to answer your question, now Krishna knows there is two options for this person. As part of his prarabdha, he is going to do this. But as a free will, then Krishna guides him. He sends a spiritual master. Okay? He sends a spiritual master, and then the spiritual master guides that person, and the person decides, okay, fine, I have it enough. I am not going to get married. I will remain as a celibate throughout my life. I am not going to work. I quit my job. I quit my family life, and I am going to become a brahmachari. So now he was supposed to be married with 3 kids and a high-profile job. But everything changed. Why? Because he then took the path of bhakti, and the spiritual master came. Okay. Now, Krishna knows everything. It does not mean that it is scripted. This person has a choice, even now. So the spiritual master had to work hard, person, to make him disciple or to make him understand that what is more beneficial for him. For like now, I have a choice. Either I can serve or I can forget everything and not do anything. So there is a free will to me. It is a path that I need to follow. So Krishna, even though he is God, he is all cognizant. Sometimes when Lord Krishna comes for this material, in this material world, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, when he says, so this will maybe clarify your question. So he says that today in the morning Bhagavatam class, we did Yogamaya Samanvita. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita. Meaning that I do not manifest myself in front of everyone. I cover myself with my internal potency, Yogamaya. So even though Krishna always knew that he is Krishna, but when he came to Vraj, he, by the power of Yogamaya, made himself forget that he is God. He remembered that he is Krishna, but because of Yogamaya, he forgot that he is God, but at the same time, he also remembered that he is God. Now we cannot understand this. He forgot he is God. Why? Because if he always remembers that he is God, then he can never see Yashoda mother as his mother. He will always have that feeling that I am God. He will not see the Gop Sakhas and he will not eat with them. He will not play with them because now he knows that he is God. But he has asked Yogamaya. On his instructions, the Yogamaya has made him forgetful of the fact that you are God. And he is forgetful, and at the same time he knows. So we cannot understand because it is beyond our understanding, Prabhu. Do you get me? So he knew that he is God, and he also knew that he is not God. That is why he's playing the part of a Gop Sakha or a cowherd boy, Gopal.
Prabhuji, what I understand, if I say, will you allow me? So,
Yeah, sure.
So what I understood that God made your path already, but with your free will, God can change as well if you do your good karma and with the bhakti. So you can change your things with that's a free will, and God will help you in that. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah. That is what happens. So God always gives us choice. There is a choice. That either you do this, you do that. We don't know. It's why is it interesting? You know why? Because the demigods, they don't know. The demigods don't know. The Devi Devtas who are actually looking after us, they are not sure. They can suspect that, oh, this is what is going to happen, but they are not sure. So there was one person who was sinful, but he dies, he goes to Yamraj. Now when Yamraj is doing his calculation, plus minus debit credit, he says, wait a minute, now this is the first case. I am confused. What should we do? So then Yamraj, he goes to Swargalok, and he asked all the exalted sages of the Swargalok that what should we do? This is a very unique case. So then they say that even we are confused. Let's go to Lord Brahma. So both Yamraj and one of the sages, they are carrying on their shoulder this person who is a sinner. They go to Lord Brahma. They ask Brahma, what should we do with this person? We are failing now to understand. Brahma says, oh, this is really a very peculiar case. Let's go to Lord Shiva. So now Brahma ji, Yamraj ji, and this saint, all three are carrying this person, and they go to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva says, even I am confused. He starts scratching his jata. I don't know what to do with this. So what's the ultimate place? Let's all go to Vaikunt. So they all go to Vaikunt in Saket Dham, where Lord Ram resides. And then as Lord Ram sees, Lord Ram says, you keep this person here and all of you go from here. Then they are confused. They say, but he is a sinner. He did all the wrong things in his entire life. How is it that he, first of all, we are carrying him, and that too, he is coming inside your abode and you are saying, leave him and go. Why? So then Lord Ram said that because, he did wrong things, but at the end, he always glorified my devotee Hanuman. And because he is always glorified Hanuman, he is the best person to be situated with me. I like anyone who glorifies my devotee Hanuman. So this is the thing. So even the demigods, they don't know sometimes that, okay, as per Shastra, like Ajamil's story, most of us know what happened with Ajamil. So there was a fight between the Vishnu Dutas and the Yamdutas, because the Yamdutas didn't know. Then Yamraj had to explain, okay, this is this, but there is something called Bhakti. When Bhakti comes into play, then all our material calculation go wrong at that place. There is a special place for Bhakti. So this is how it becomes interesting. You are saying it's scripted. No, it's not scripted actually. Krishna knows, but Krishna is beyond this material world, Prabhu. We have to understand. Whatever is happening in this material world is in this material world. Krishna is beyond. Krishna is here. So this will be covered in the next tomorrow's class. Anyat, when we will itaratas anyat. So that is the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. How he is present and at the same time not present. So we'll understand that. So in this case, Akash Prabhu is asking, Krishna is present indirectly in this material world. So even though he knows, but he is somewhere else. And the people who have taken charge of this material world, the Devi Devtas, they don't know exactly. So it is not distant, it's a surprise for them as well. Okay? Yes.
Prabhuji,
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna.
या आपने जो ग्रॉस बॉडी सटल बॉडी और स्पिरिचुअल बॉडी के
Spiritual.
बारे में जो एक्सप्लेन, तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है, स्पिरिचुअल बॉडी में आपने कहा था सोल एंड सुपर सोल, तो सोल इज आत्मा, तो डज इट मीन सुपर सोल इज कृष्णा और इज इट समथिंग एल्स?
No, it's Krishna.
What exactly?
It's Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna.
It's Krishna. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, Krishna actually expands into Balram.
Okay.
Balram expands into Sankarshan. Sankarshan expands into Narayan. Narayan expands into another Sankarshan. Then that another Sankarshan expands into Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu expands into Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands into Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is Paramatma. So the
Okay.
Mool Avatari is Lord Krishna.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Prabhu. Yeah.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, तमन्ना this side.
Yes.
मुझे भी
हाँ.
एक question था actually. So
Yeah.
you mentioned about the subtle body, and you said that, like, for example, when I grow up, maybe I'm good at singing and maybe my sister is good at something else, and that's predetermined based on all our previous lives as well, right? So my question is, but for example, in my previous life, what if I wasn't a human, or how, like, can you explain how does it work? Matlab, what if I didn't have the basically
Yeah, I got
I'm
it.
just saying my
Yeah, I
previous
got.
life, you get what I'm saying.
I
no?
get your
So
point. So I'll explain. Yeah, I'll explain to you. So you were not a human. Okay, you are not a human. But you are anything, right? So even the birds, they can sing. Okay? Even a tiger might sing, but we don't know how they sing. They have their own world, they have their own language, they have their own way. They also, so when the tigers hunt, so that is their job. So if you were a tigress in your previous life, then you would know you will be very sharp at that. So it does not necessarily mean that you have to be a human in your past lifetime. You can be anyone. But yeah, if you have come, I'll also reveal another secret. If you are here listening to Hari Katha, then definitely you have been a human for the last hundreds and thousands of lifetimes. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad-gītā that if you are here sitting my katha, then it means you have been doing my bhakti for hundreds and thousands and millions of lifetimes as a human being, not as an animal. But yeah, to answer your question, even if you were, let's say, in some other species or in some other planet, some other species, there are many samskaras that you would have as that animal has. So every animal has feelings, every animal has their own life circle and cycle. They are also doing the exact things that we do. They communicate with each other, they have feelings, they have a different kind of job, but still they have a job because the father goes out and searches for food for their children, isn't it? So that is their job. It's a different kind of job, but it is job after all. So that is how you learn. So let's say if you were not a human previous lifetime, so you will see there are some people who would behave like donkeys, or there are some people who will behave like a dog or a cat or something. So then you can know that, okay, this is how they have come about from that species.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, Ashish Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। मेरा प्रश्न ये, जैसे हमने देखा कि कृष्ण जी ने तो अपने जीवन में जैसे हंसे भी खेले भी, जब बाल अवस्था में थे तो बालकों के साथ गोपालों के साथ खेले, और उसके बाद बड़े हुए तो जो उनका कार्य था, युद्ध लड़ना कार्य था, तो युद्ध लड़े। जब किसी ज्ञान देने की बात आई तो ज्ञान दिया। तो अब ऐसी चीज अगर हम अपने सभी इमोशंस को कंट्रोल ही कर लेंगे, खुशी में खुशी नहीं मना पाएंगे, दुख में दुख नहीं मना पाएंगे, जैसे किसी का मान लो स्वर्गवास हो जाए तो हम उसमें भी शोक ना मना पाए, तो एक तरीके से एक कमी नहीं आ जाएगी हमारे जीवन में?
Yes, very nice question. So because Ankut Prabhu does not understand Hindi, so I'll repeat the question in English and then I will answer in English, okay? So his question is, do we become mechanical robots if we wouldn't be happy or sad? So to answer this question, there are two things, Prabhu. One is being attached and the second is being affectionate, okay? Now to any situation, we have these two options. Either we are attached to that thing, that person, or we are affectionate towards that thing or that person. If we are attached, then that's wrong. For instance, if someone dies in your family, okay, and you are crying and crying and crying because you were attached, then that is not the correct way. But you are crying because you were affectionate. Your grandfather, great-grandfather, grandmother, you were affectionate. Yes, you had memories. You remember those past memories and you are crying because of that. But you're not attached to it, that I cannot live without them and I am going to commit suicide and I neglect my duties. I won't go to job. I won't do this. I won't eat for another month. So that is wrong, right? So we have to learn to be affectionate. Yes, we must have emotions. Everyone must have emotion. If someone has died, we cannot go and give Gita Gyan. Oh, you are this body, you are soul, you are not this body, you are soul, don't cry. No, that is nonsense. We have to have emotion, but emotion in the correct way. Okay? So attachment will always lead us to down planets. It will pull us down actually, attachment. But on the other hand, affectionate. So there's a fine line between being affectionate and being attached. Does that help clear the doubt, Prabhu, or should I expand on this?
Yes, Prabhuji, I got it. Like it is all because if something has to happen, it will happen, and we have to just pass the moment. Like it's a sad moment, we will be sad and then pass the moment and then follow our responsibilities.
No, you have to be aware, Prabhu.
Aware.
You have to be conscious. You have to know the things. For instance, I will tell you. Bhagavad-gītā chapter 3, Bhagavad-gītā chapter 5. Both are karma yoga. Okay. If Arjun would have fought the war after the 3rd chapter, he would have fought the war as a soldier. And if Arjun fought the war after 5th chapter or the 18th chapter or after Bhagavad-gītā, he fought as a devotee. Now there is a difference. First, you were fighting because I am a Kshatriya and I am supposed to fight. That is why I am fighting. That is chapter 3. Chapter 5 onwards, I am fighting because Krishna wants me to fight. Because Krishna knows better. He knows, he has made me, he is my manufacturer, so he knows what I should do. And that's why I would fight. So now I am fighting as a devotee. So now in any situation, if you are in full control, when you know the basics, what's what, then it's better. Then you have full control over the situation. But if you are attached, so if someone is attached, attachment means illusion. Okay. So if we are under illusion, we cannot understand the reality. Illusion means that which is not real. So attachment means illusion. But if we are affectionate, we are not attached, then everything is clear to me. Yes, it is a sad moment. Someone has left their body. There was some dependence behind them. There was a lot of memories with that person. So yes, I am sad, and that is natural. That crying is natural. But I am aware of the situation that this person, my grandfather, grandmother, my father, my mother, they actually did not die. They are continuing the next part of their journey. So this is the correct understanding. So I am sad because he left me, he or she left me, but then they are in a different place continuing their other journey. Does that help you, Prabhu?
I got my answer, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji.
Awareness and how we feel, how we can.
But it's Prabhuji, it's not easy.
No, of course. So that's why Bhagavad-gītā has 18 chapters, right? If it was easy, Bhagavad-gītā would have stopped after second chapter. Krishna would have stopped. But it's not easy. That is why to explain it better, we had to expand the next 16 chapters. Okay, so we have...
Prabhuji, may I ask you one question?
एक minute, Mataji. Bas, I think Dwivedi Prabhu is there. So he has his hands up from a long time. So let's give him chance.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. My name is Abhay, and this is first class. And maybe it's a question you might have already answered in the beginning of this class. So my question is, the line was, those who are wise don't lament for either dead or alive. I was thinking about it, and then a thought came to me that Arjuna was taught by Lord Krishna. He was taught Bhagavad-gītā by him. And then when the war was happening, when his son died, Abhimanyu, even after getting on knowledge and everything, he lamented. He would have become angry, and then he vowed to kill Jayadratha and everything. So those emotions were there with him. He did lament, I think, because his son was dead.
Yes.
This statement that those who are wise don't lament for dead or alive, this of course this is right because it is written in Bhagavad-gītā. I have not understood it. I know I'm not wise, but how to make some practical understanding of for this statement? For the example which I Abhimanyu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So yeah, that's a wonderful question. So that's right. Krishna says that one who is wise neither laments for living or dead. Arjun had heard Bhagavad-gītā from Krishna. Then when Abhimanyu dies, Arjun actually, he is enraged, he is angry. And he tells Krishna that I want to see Abhimanyu. So then Krishna, he takes Arjun to a place where Abhimanyu is there, in the heavenly planets. And as Arjun sees his son, he runs towards him, because at the last moment, he could not see his son. And then Abhimanyu, he looks at Arjun and he says, who are you? And then Arjun says, what? You don't remember me? I'm your father. So Abhimanyu says, father, from which birth? Then it clicks to Arjun what Krishna has said in the beginning. Then Arjun remembers, oh yeah. So as Mataji just said, that it is very difficult to realize. Though it is said, but to realize it takes lifetime. And that is why Krishna, when he said in the 2.13 Bhagavad-gītā, that you are not this body, you are soul, dehino asmin yatha dehe, dhiras tatrana muyate, he said, but in the very next birth, he tells Arjun, he calls him by his family name, Kaunteya, Tam Titikshasva Bharata. Bharat means that he is Vanshaj of Bharat Maharaj, Bharat dynasty. So, what Krishna is trying to explain to us is that this is a gradual process. It's not that today I told you and tomorrow you will realize this. No. It takes lifetime to master this Bhagavad-gītā, right? So that is why even after understanding, that is why we have to do it again and again and again. That is why when we are so in this process of bhakti, we worship God every single day. If it was just one day I worshipped, so is it like that? Do I get God after worshipping one day? It doesn't happen like that, right? I have to keep on doing that because I am not pure at this moment. A time will come when I am going to be pure. And that time, then I would have realized Bhagavad Gita, I would have realized Bhagavatam and every word of Lord Krishna. And then I become eligible. But unless that time, I need to keep on doing. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagya chena griyate. Vairagyena cha griyate. Meaning ki you have to keep on endeavoring, constant practice. And at the same time, you renounce few things. Then you are going to be able to control yourself, your mind. Does that help, Prabhu?
Yes, it does, Prabhu. Right.
Okay, Prabhu. Yes, Akash Prabhu wanted to ask something.
Truly on the same point, you said like, as Krishna says, like you have to be the one who is wise. Don't lament when whether the person is dead or alive. So the thing is like at the end of like near the end of Mahabharata, Ashwathama and like Arjun had a Brahmastra fight. So Arjun take back his Brahmastra, but on the other hand, Ashwathama like released it to his wife, like Karb. So he like her child were like not killed, but like Lord Krishna saved his her children. But then at that time, why did Krishna like get angry and cursed him to be a children like roam around? I think for a long time. So,
Yeah. Okay. So as I said to Ashish Prabhu's question, that Krishna is not asking us to become robots without emotions. Everything that he has told in Bhagavad Gita, everything that we hear in scriptures like Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ramayana, is to make us eligible to go back to Vaikuntha. Always remember this. What is the prayojan? What is the abhidha? There are three things to be learned from any scriptures. That is Sambandh, Abhidhe, and Prayojan. So Abhidhe and Prayojan here is, Sambandh is I belong to Krishna and this is not my home. My home is in Vaikuntha. That is the Sambandh. Then the Abhidhe is how do I reach there, and Prayojan is what happens after I reach there. So whatever Krishna is guiding us through Bhagavad Gita, through his lifetime, whatever Lord Ram has guided us with Ramayana or Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is to make us ready for that place. Okay? So to answer your question, we should not become robots. There should be anger, but we have to utilize that in a correct way. Like Lord Hanuman, he was a self-controlled sadhu, he was a sage. But he used his anger to destroy Ravan's army. That is the correct usage. So we have to have emotions. We cannot become emotionless. That is Shunyavad actually. That is not the Vaishnava philosophy. There we need to have emotions, but we must be in complete complete control of how to use those emotions. Isn't it? That determines if we are a Mahapurush or not. And Krishna wants all of us to become a Mahapurush, a great person. Does that help? Yeah, I saw some chat here. So, can you repeat the third defect out of the four? Okay. So the third defect, so there is illusion. Then the third defect is tendency to commit mistakes. First one is senses are imperfect. Second one is illusion. Third one is tendency to commit mistakes. And the fourth one is cheating propensity. Yeah, Sonia Mataji, you were asking something. Please go ahead.
Yes. My question is related to how to control our anger as well as how to be steady in any situation. Like the situations are forcing us to react. sometimes we can't control our emotions. We have to
Yeah.
react by the
Yes.
negativity of the other people, right? In
Right.
corporate, we have to face such challenges on daily basis. So
Mhm.
my question is regarding that
I
only,
got
how
it.
to
I got the
control
question.
our
Yeah.
emotions
Yeah.
and not
First,
react to those people.
yeah. So people who are not controlled, they react. People who are controlled, they respond. This is the difference. Okay? Respond meaning that you have analyzed the situation, and based on the situation, it could be that you have to hit that person back. You have to punch that person back, but you are responding, not reacting. You have done your calculation and then you got to the understanding that punching this guy is the best solution. Okay, like Lord Hanuman did. When he entered Lanka, he slapped Lankini, who was a demon actually. So he had analyzed the situation. He was in complete control. He knew what he was doing. He was not impulsively taking decisions. So to answer your question, Mataji, where does anger reside? It takes its birth in our mind. So anger sits in our mind, and anger comes out through our tongue, isn't it? We shout, we say words we are not supposed to say, or we are agitated, we are frustrated, we are annoyed, and we yell, we just lose it. So the culprit are two things, mind and the tongue. Mind, we have to control both mind and tongue. How to control mind? Mantrai iti mantra. The thing that controls your mind is called mantra. That is why there is this vidhi of chanting. We chant, so our thumb, it touches the second finger. When the thumb touches the second finger, there is a nerve connection directly to our brain, and that nervous system actually controls our brain, which controls our mind. So that is why you see whenever we chant, there is the second finger touching our thumb. That is the first thing. Then, on the spiritual plane, the sound vibration. So even materialists, they have done research. Amit Prabhu had one shared, so we will reshare in the group, that a research was conducted in IIT, and they got to know that people who chant mantras, they are more self-controlled, they are more peaceful than the people who don't. So that is the first thing to control your mind. You have to do mantra, vibrate, sound vibration. And second thing is control your tongue. So there are two things we do with our tongue. One is food goes inside, and second is we speak, so sound comes outside. We have to control these two things. So we have to be aware of what we take inside. So we should always eat things that we have offered to Lord, because Lord sanctifies the prasadam. So when we offer something to God, He does two things. First, He takes away all the sins, because when you cook something, so even the plants have life, isn't it? So when the plants have life, so you are killing the plants. So that means you will incur sinful reactions. But when you offer it to God, He takes away that sinful reaction and He instills His prem, His love inside that food. So now this bhog, it becomes prasad for you. You are taking that prasad inside your mouth. So what is going inside? That is good. And then you are chanting your mantra, Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it's GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So what we are taking, that comes out. So similarly, whatever GIGO also means good in, good out. We are taking good prasadam in, so the good mantra is coming out. So our anger will be in control. Okay, it is a gradual process, Mataji. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to invest years. You have to invest really, but start with a mindset of 30 days. For the next 30 days, I am only going to eat prasadam. I am not going to eat anything that is not offered, and I am going to chant whatever numbers of rounds you have figured out. I am going to chant 2 rounds. I am going to chant 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds. If you do this for 1 month, Mataji, you will start feeling that change in your life. 6 months, 2 years, and you are a pro. Okay. So
Prabhuji, Annakota Prabhuji is asking something that he is asking.
Explaining.
Yes. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Ankut Prabhu, I will unmute you. Okay, you can ask. asked you to unmute. You can unmute, unquote, Prabhu. So by the time he's figuring out, because he doesn't use, applications much. So yes, we will take Khushi Mataji your question.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, मेरा सवाल ये है, जो आपने वर्ण आश्रम के बात की थी, आपने बोला था उसमें संन्यास आश्रम सबसे बेस्ट है या बेहतर है, बट आगे जा कठिन है, ओके, बट आगे जाके भागवत में कृष्ण भगवान अर्जुन को कर्म योगी बनने की सलाह देते हैं, तो डजंट दिस, बिकॉज इंस्टेड ऑफ जस्ट डूइंग संन्यास आश्रम मीन्स लीविंग योर फैमिली एंड गोइंग टू द फॉरेस्ट टू मेडिटेट और टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज, तो अंदर संसार में रह के कर्म योगी बनना ये ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट है।
मैं समझ गया आपका प्रश्न। So her question is that what is better, remaining in family life and doing your duties, or then renouncing everything, going to Himalayas and becoming a yogi? So first mistake, in your statement is, Krishna doesn't say Arjun to become a karma yogi. No. The 47th shlok of 6th chapter clears yogi nam api sarvesham. He says among all the yogis, bhakt is the topmost. Bhakti yoga is the topmost, not karma yoga. What is the difference between bhakti yoga and karma yoga? I gave the example last time. I'll repeat it to make it easy. I love rasgulla. I offer that to God. So I make rasgulla and I offer that to God. That is karma yoga. Now second scenario, God loves gulab jamun and not rasgulla. So now it does not matter whether I love gulab jamun or not. I will make gulab jamun, I will offer it to God, and then that is called bhakti yoga. Because in the second case, you are doing what he wants, right? So similarly, karma yoga is what you want. If karma yoga was supposed to be the topmost, then a butcher is also doing karma yoga. A thief is also doing a karma yoga, because a thief can say, मैं भी तो मेरा काम कर रहा हूँ, चोरी मेरा पेशा है, मैं कर रहा हूँ. जो एक बुचर को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं, जो भी बोलते कसाई खाने वाला, वो भी बोलेगा भाई मैं भी तो कर्म कर रहा हूँ. I am also doing my karma because this is my job. But no, that is why Krishna says भक्ति is, क्योंकि भक्ति कृष्ण नहीं बोल रहे ना कि तू कसाई बन जाके, तू तो अपने मन से कसाई बन रहा है, isn't it? So bhakti is topmost.
वो समझा.
That is one.
मेरा
second में आ रहा हूँ मैं.
हाँ, okay.
Coming to that.
Okay.
Now, this is a misunderstanding people have. Arjun actually wanted, he repeatedly said at the end of 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter, Arjun keeps on saying, I want to take sannyas, Krishna. I am going to Himalayas. I am not going to fight this war. Let them kill me. I am going to take sannyas. Krishna said, no, you fool. You are not supposed to take sannyas. This is exactly what Krishna says. You are not supposed to take sannyas. Why? Because you are not on that level. अभी मैं कल को जाके संन्यास लूंगा तो मैं सन्यासी नहीं, मैं एक पाखंडी बनूंगा. Why? Because मेरा वो स्तर नहीं है. I am not on that level now. So that is why Krishna says it's very practical, baby steps, step by step. Krishna doesn't say you directly become a bhakt. No. He says wherever you are, whatever you are doing, you first start with sakam karma yoga, meaning that whatever desires you have, you first fulfill those desires. But at the same time, you connect your desires with me. Your desire is to eat pani puri today. Your desire is to eat, let's say, ragda patties. So you eat. Who is stopping you? But you offer that to me. Na? When you offer that to me, I will take away all the sins from that thing, ragda patties or pani puri or vada pav, whatever it is. And then I will give it back to you. So your desires are fulfilled. You wanted to eat, you got it. And because you offered it to me, you linked that to me. Now that karma became karma yoga. But that was as per your desires. Now slowly keep on doing this for years and years and years. And the day there will be love for me in your heart, that day you will no more desire to eat vada pav or ragda patties. That day you will come with tears in your eyes and you will ask me that, Krishna, today is your birthday, it's Janmashtami. What do you like? What would you like to eat? I will make that for you. But that comes with love. That is not something artificial. So that is why he says you start with Sakam. Then slowly, when time comes, you go to Nishkam. Just a second, I think my earphone has given up. Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yes. So it's clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Who else? Ashish Prabhu, do you have another question, or is just you raised your hand and you forgot to put it down? Okay, fine. So Ankut Prabhu is, I don't know, maybe Shital Mataji, do you know what his question is, or you just?
No, I was just looking at the message and I get to know. Maybe you can unmute Annakot Prabhu and then he can ask.
Okay, yeah, he asked me actually. Yeah,